Hey. Thank you. Final game of the weekend against Milwaukee Junior Admirals. We got a couple of returns today as Miller is back and Reynolds is back. We're going to start off with Pulauskas, Kushkowski, Bergeron, Rybicki, and Campbell. Cutting is in net. Kushkowski wins that faceoff back to Rybicki. Rybicki comes around, goes over to Campbell. Campbell up the sideboard to the middle for Kushkowski, deflected off. Pulauskas gets to it off of the sideboard, stopped by Milwaukee, dug out and over to Rybicki. Rybicki tried to get that up to Pulauskas, stopped by Milwaukee. Milwaukee into the corner, takes a hit from Rybicki. Puck comes loose into the middle and carried forward by Milwaukee. Puck knocked away. Pulauskas goes to get it in the corner. Rybicki puts it up forward for Kushkowski, pushed back by Milwaukee, and then stuck on the sideboard. Milwaukee picks it up. Centering pass missing, goes over to where Bergeron is. Bergeron goes up for Pulauskas. Pulauskas touches, tries to tap over to Kushkowski, gets knocked away. Carter comes on. Chilicki comes on. Carter carries forward. Chilicki gets the drop pass. Centering for Carter, bounces off of Carter's stick. Kushkowski changes, and Reynolds comes on. Reynolds knocks that puck away over to Chilicki. Knocked away from Chilicki. Miller comes on at D and knocks that puck forward. Milwaukee escaping over to the near board. Coming forward, Priskintis tries to knock that away. Put in on Cutting, and Cutting covers. 15:41 to go in the first. Still 0-0. Priskintis lost the stick on a face-off, tried to kick it over to Miller. Milwaukee picks it up and sends it down the boards. Tapped away by Reynolds. Reynolds' pass gets knocked down from Milwaukee. They get a shot on Cutting. He knocks it over to the corner, and it's brought off of the glass by Priskintis. Gloved down by Milwaukee and put back in the middle. Another shot goes wide of Cutting. Puck over the sideboard. Knocked over to Carter. Carter takes a slash, and we're going to go to power play. .15 to go. Fury with the first power play. Reynolds, Letcher, Nietzsche, Pulauskas, and Prisgintis on the ice for the power play. Face-off, one to the sideboard. Reynolds sends it up to Letcher. Letcher goes cross ice for Prisgintis. Prisgintis' shot is blocked in front. Nietzsche steps in front of a clearing attempt, goes back to Milwaukee. They send it over to Prisgintis, who goes back to Letcher. Letcher sets it up behind Cutting. Minute 42 to go on the power play. Puck left for Reynolds. Reynolds comes across off the far board. Gets past a couple of skaters, but gets knocked away and cleared again. Cutting slows it up and left for Prisgintis, who leaves it for Letcher. Letcher comes over to the near side, takes a hit, puck over to Pulauskas, who passes to Prisgintis. Prisgintis' shot in front goes wide. Letcher back down to Pulauskas, cross for Prisgintis, bounces off of Prisgintis' stick, pass across, misses and goes up to Letcher. Letcher back down to Reynolds. Reynolds pass misses Letcher. Prisgintis goes to get it. Letcher changes. Kushkowski comes on. Carter, Brown, Chalicki come on the ice with Prisgintis. Prisgintis brings it in. 42 seconds to go on the power play. Milwaukee bringing the puck in and then dumping, and they go for a change. Prisgintis changes and Campbell comes on. Campbell picks the puck up from the corner, goes behind Cutting. Over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski dumps that puck in. Carter goes with Kushkowski. Clearing attempt picked up by Campbell. Chalicki to Campbell. Cross to Kushkowski. Kushkowski shot in front. Hits off of the back glass. Puck gets away from Chalicki and cleared. 2 seconds to go and we'll be even. Puck up to Brown. Brown chips it in. Chalicki goes to get it, stopped by the goaltender of the Admirals over to the far board. Aldridge on the ice with Miller now. Brown changes. Credidio comes on. Milwaukee's a pass misses. Miller picks it up and goes behind Cutting. Up the boards for Credidio. Credidio up the boards, kept in by Milwaukee and shot back down. Aldridge tries to tap that forward, but Milwaukee picks it up, sends it back down low. Kruger on the ice, pins his man to the board and puts the puck up. Puck back down to the corner. Miller and Chalicki going after it. Comes loose, kept in by Milwaukee, and they send it back down. Miller taps up the boards for Kruger. Kruger takes it off and sends it up for Credidio. Miller, Aldridge, and Chalicki go for a change. Campbell and Rybicki come on the ice with Bergeron. Milwaukee gets a pass. Shot is blocked by Campbell. Puck goes to the backboard and sent up over to the far board. Campbell picks it up out of feet, gets it over to Kruger. Kruger tries to dump it in and doesn't quite get it. Admirals enter the zone, try to get past Rybicki. Rybicki's going to get a penalty for holding. With 11:57 to go, we'll go on our first kill. Prisgintis, Miller, Reynolds, and Letcher. Off one by Milwaukee. They get a puck down under Cutting, goes over to the corner. Prisgintis battling in the corner. puck gets dug out, and the Admirals come up to the point. Cross, back up top. Shot in front, goes wide of Cutting and over to the corner. Milwaukee still in control, pinned by Miller, and then Shalicki is able to dig that out. Shalicki and Reynolds change. Aldridge, Campbell, Letcher, and Nietzsche on the ice. Campbell sends that forward for Nietzsche. It's going to go just wide of the goaltender. Nietzsche gets tied up. Milwaukee picks that puck up and brings it back down. Quick pass across. And then Letcher has a breakaway after that pass from Campbell. Letcher shot. Saved by Milwaukee in the corner. Letcher takes a rough ride after his efforts. Milwaukee tries to reset up. 35 seconds to go on the power play for Milwaukee. Pass across, back door. And Cutting save, no rebound. 25 seconds to go on the kill. 10:02 in the first. Kushkowski and Bergeron on the ice right now. Face-off pushed over to the boards. Priskintis tries to knock it up, but Milwaukee sends it around. Bergeron trying to get that puck out. Gets knocked down, but he's back up, gets a stick, and tries to push the puck up the board. Milwaukee sends it back in. Shot is blocked and goes wide of Cutting, bounces back on him, and he covers. 4 seconds to go. Milwaukee controls the face-off and sends it into the corner. Priskintis ties it up and then knocks it loose. Sends it up for Polauskas. Rubicki's penalty is over, and we've got an offsides. Kushkowski wins that faceoff back to Rubicki, who goes over to Aldridge. Aldridge sends that around. Milwaukee tries to chip forward. Rubicki gloves it down and then sends it over for Polauskas. Polauskas loses an edge, but still with the play, taps that puck to Rubicki. To Kushkowski. Kushkowski and Bergeron trying to dig that puck out. They do get it up to Aldridge, and Aldridge takes a shot into the glove of Milwaukee. Letcher, Reynolds, Nietzsche. Milwaukee got a penalty, so we're going on a power play. Reynolds taking the face-off. Priskintis and Polauskas out as well. Face-off pushed back to the backboard. Polauskas gets tied up. Puck in some feet. Reynolds tries to knock that free. Milwaukee working on the boards. Nietzsche sends it up to Priskintis, over to Letcher. Letcher back to Priskintis. And Priskintis doesn't get enough on his pass, and the Admirals are able to send that down on Cutting. Cutting decides to play that around. Bad bounce off of the boards. Milwaukee almost gets a chance. Cutting shuts the door just in time. Priskintis up the near board, bringing the puck in. Gets a shot off of the stick of the goaltender. Admirals try to clear around the board. Letcher is there. Letcher sends it back down for Polauskas. Centering for Nietzsche, intercepted by Milwaukee. Milwaukee fires one wide. 1:06 on the power play. We get a power play change. Brzgintis drops that to Brown. Brown takes a look. He's got Letcher behind him. He drops it to Letcher, who sets back up. Campbell comes on the ice. Chalicki and Carter out with them as well. Letcher up to Campbell. Campbell carries forward and then drops the puck into the zone. Brown gets to it on the backboard and knocks it over to Chalicki. Chalicki puts it back in the fray, comes loose. Chalicki one-handed pass over to Kushkowski. Campbell back to Kushkowski. Back to Campbell. Campbell looking for Carter backdoor. Carter gets that rolling puck off of his stick, but it goes wide of the net. Kushkowski keeps that puck in, drops it back down for Carter. Carter looking for somewhere to go, gets pinned, and Milwaukee clears it. 4 seconds to go. Penalty is over. So 7 minutes to go in the first. We'll get an end zone face-off. Kruger, Credidio, Bergeron come on the ice. Aldridge and Rubicki at D. Kruger battling on the sideboard. Credidio gets it up. It hits off of Rubicki's stick and goes back in. Milwaukee trying to clear. Aldridge taps that back up to Credidio, and then Credidio dumps it in. Bergeron in on the forecheck, comes and gives pressure. Milwaukee flubs their pass a little bit. It goes over to Credidio. Kruger knocks that off of the board and sends it back. Milwaukee comes the other direction and puts it in on Cutting. Cutting gloves it and decides to hold. Chalicki, Palauskas, Reynolds on the ice. Reynolds pushed that puck over to Chalicki, gets knocked away. Milwaukee sends that puck back in and down low over to the sideboard. Shot wide of Cutting and out of the zone. Chalicki and Palauskas giving some pressure. Milwaukee tips it in. Cutting leaves it for Aldridge. Aldridge pushes over to Palauskas. Palauskas to Rubicki. Over to Chalicki. Chalicki sends that puck in. Palauskas centering for Reynolds. It bounces off of the back of the net. Reynolds gets tied up. Palauskas misses that puck. Chalicki's good stick gets it over to Palauskas. He couldn't quite get the shot off, and the puck over to the backboard. Palauskas gets a puck knocked over to Chalicki. Chalicki off of the boards. Up to Miller from Palauskas. Cross ice for Campbell. Campbell sends that back down. Somebody trying to outmuscle Palauskas down there, and it just didn't work. Milwaukee resetting. Letcher and Nietzsche on the ice. Letcher, Miller trying to dig the puck out. 5 minutes to go in the period. Campbell gets a hold of that, sends it forward over to Nietzsche. Palauskas changes, Credidio comes on. No call on the hook. Nietzsche had other player's stick all around him. Milwaukee tries to send that back. Brzgintis gloves it and goes forward, stopped by Milwaukee. They send the puck back up. Brzgintis is there, who dumps it back in. Letcher coming in. Puck left behind, and Milwaukee throws one to the middle of the ice. Brzgintis battling with Milwaukee. Milwaukee gets to it, sends it behind Cutting. Puck into the corner. Credidio battling, takes a slash, no call. Pass intercepted by Milwaukee. They send the puck down low and go for a change. Kushkowski comes on the ice for Nietzsche. Puck makes its way to Kushkowski across for Letcher. Letcher dumps it in and goes for a change. Credidio goes for a change. Brown and Kruger come on the ice. Rybicki and Campbell at D. Kushkowski doing his best to wait for reinforcements. Puck comes off of the sideboard and across. Rybicki knocks him off the puck. Brown back to help. Brown to Campbell. Campbell up for Kruger and knocked out of play. .319 to go in the first. We'll keep the same personnel. Kushkowski wins the faceoff back. Milwaukee steps in front of Campbell and takes control of the puck. Kushkowski knocks that puck away after a stick lift by Kruger. Puck back to Rybicki, over to Kruger and off of the board and in. Puck over to the sideboard. Brown comes over, knocks the puck off of the stick. Milwaukee still has it, and they send it over to the neutral zone. Puck bounces off of the boards and then sent back up. Kruger picks a pass up from Campbell. Kushkowski sends that puck in. Kruger goes to get it. Brown in the slot. Puck off the sideboards. Milwaukee coming back through neutral ice. Dumps it. Knocked down by Campbell. Up for Kushkowski, over for Miller. Puck bounces off of Miller. They're off sides. Kruger tries to pass that puck forward. It gets knocked back by Milwaukee. Carter and Reynolds on the ice now. Miller hard across, around, bad bounce off the stanchion. Luckily, Campbell is there, knocks the puck forward, and Milwaukee's off sides. Cutting, leaves it for Miller. Miller sends it up, looking for Carter. Milwaukee in front of it. We've played Milwaukee a lot, so they're fully aware of how we play, and they seem to be stepping in front of a lot of our plays right now. We've got a 3-on-1 now. So the puck goes over to Carter. Carter to Reynolds. Reynolds' pass is deflected. Looking for Chalicki. Admirals enter. Puck goes on. Cutting as that's a pass across, but Chris Gintis lifted a stick before Milwaukee could get an opportunity at the puck. Milwaukee behind Cutting, trying to get a stuff attempt on. Knocked away by Aldridge. Reynolds coming in with Chalicki. Drops for Chalicki. Quick shot. Crossbar from Chalicki. Aldridge keeps the puck in and sends it down low. Bergeron on the ice, coming in on the forecheck, forcing a turnover. Berge chips it down low. Still working. Good job by Berge, waiting for his line to come out. Pulauskas and Nietzsche on the ice. Pulauskas trying to cut through a couple of skaters. It gets knocked away. Fury off sides. Admirals take it into the neutral ice. Puck goes on Cutting, and he just holds on to it. 52.4 remaining in the first. Still 0-0. Puck underneath. I see it loose. Campbell getting into a shoving match. 44.7 seconds. We're going to send out Kushkowski, Letcher, Credidio. Face off, pushed into neutral ice. The Admirals try to clear it back up. Kushkowski picks it up, takes a shove, and Admirals get the puck back. Miller knocks that puck down. Picked up by Priskintis over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski for Cordidio tries to go 5-hole. Saved and knocked away by Milwaukee. Good opportunity there. Great pass by Kushkowski. Priskintis knocks the puck over to Kushkowski, who then puts it on net. The goaltender pushes it behind him. Puck into neutral ice, 4 seconds to go. Priskintis steps in front of that, and then Miller knocks it away from Milwaukee. And that'll be the end of the first. So after one, still 0-0. Not my style of music at all. There's no Nelly. We're going to start the second period with Bergeron, Nietzsche, Pulauskas, Aldridge, and Priskintis face off one back. Bergeron gets it over to Aldridge, who goes cross ice for Priskintis, but knocked away by Milwaukee. Pulauskas picks it up off of the boards and then sends it up for Nietzsche. Nietzsche settles it down, tries to get it off the boards and out, but kept in by Milwaukee. Shot goes wide of cutting and then cleared by Priskintis. That'll be icing. Rubicki and Campbell come out at D. Face-off pushed over to the side. Bergeron and Campbell both whack at it, comes out. Milwaukee picks it up in their own zone. Pulauskas, a little flyby there. And Milwaukee back through the neutral zone and into the zone. Rubicki picks that puck up and sends it around. Puck makes its way to Bergeron, knocked off of the boards, and then bounces past. Milwaukee puts a shot on, gets deflected wide. They're battling on the backboard and behind cutting now. Knocked away by Nietzsche. Runs into a Milwaukee player and puck back to Campbell. Bergeron gets it out of the zone. Puck gets sent around. Shot on cutting. Rubicki picks that up. Goes up for Pulauskas. Milwaukee steps in front of that pass and the puck goes on and cutting covers, no rebound. 15:39 to go in the second. We'll play the whole second period and get an ice cut after. Kruger, Brown, Reynolds on the ice with Priskintis and Miller. Face off. One over to Kruger. Kruger tries to skate through, gets knocked away. Milwaukee knocks that puck around and then takes a shot, hits cutting in the shoulder and goes wide. Priskintis takes a whack at it, goes out of play. Same personnel setting. Kruger goes to take the face-off. Kruger wins that back to Miller. Miller sends it forward for Reynolds. Reynolds gets tied up. Milwaukee sends it back. Miller picks it up. Miller across for Brown. Gets intercepted by Milwaukee. Pushed over to the boards and then knocked free by Prisgintis. Prisgintis picks it up and then tries to carry forward. Gets knocked off of the puck. Miller and Brown covering. Puck knocked over to Brown. Brown goes across for Miller. Miller up to Brown. Brown's got a lane, decides to carry in. Reynolds in front. Brown carries forward. Gets a shot. Bounces in front and covered by the goaltender. Chilicki, Carter, Kushkowski come on the ice with Rubicki and Aldridge. 14:47 remaining in the second period. Milwaukee gets kicked out for going a little early. Now Kushkowski gets knocked out for going a little early. Chilicki in to take the faceoff. Faceoff won back by Milwaukee. They try to get past Kushkowski and Chilicki. Puck gets knocked away. Carter picks it up in neutral ice and sends it forward. Chilicki giving pressure, forcing the Admirals to go up the boards. Carter's in the way, and the beast that he is knocks that puck back down low. Carter pushing his man onto the boards. They get it over to the D, knocked down by Kushkowski. Makes its way to Milwaukee. They go cross ice. Rubicki picks that up and then sends it back up the boards. Milwaukee was there waiting for it. Puck over to Chilicki. Chilicki trying to protect the puck. Knocks it over to Rubicki. Rubicki's cross ice pass gets intercepted. Milwaukee gets a shot on cutting and then back over to the sideboard. Puck up the boards, carried forward by Kushkowski. Kushkowski makes a move to the outside and gets pinned on the boards. Milwaukee picks the puck up, but turns it over to Campbell. Campbell to Aldridge. Aldridge up to Carter. Kushkowski changes. Carter changes. Letcher comes on with Credidio. Nietzsche on the ice for Kushkowski, giving pressure. Takes a trip, and we're going to go back on the power play. 13:25 to go. It'll be Milwaukee. 2 minutes for tripping. Reynolds, Letcher, Nietzsche, Prisgintis, Pulauskas come on the ice. Faceoff one back to Reynolds. Reynolds finds Prisgintis. He carries down, centering pass, gets deflected, hits a couple of skates. Puck over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche up to Prisgintis. Prisgintis walks the line, gets a lane, puts a puck down, and gets blocked. Knocked over by Pulauskas to Letcher. Puck back up to Nietzsche. Nietzsche to Reynolds. Reynolds takes a shot, hits off of the blocker, knocked to the sideboard. Milwaukee gets to it, but finds Nietzsche. Puck comes loose. Prisgintis goes to pick it up. Minute 27 to go on the power play. Letcher picks up the puck from Prisgintis. Carries it behind cutting and up the near board. Drop pass over to Prisgintis, who carries it forward, tries to dump it off of the boards. It hits the linesman. Prisgintis tags up. Puck gets knocked back out. Campbell comes on for Prisgintis. Reynolds across for Letcher. Puck bounces off of Letcher's stick. Chilicki and Brown come on the ice. Chilicki goes in to help. Brown over to help. Chilicki gets the puck and sends it up for Reynolds. Brown in the middle. Letcher on the sideboard. Letcher with the puck over to Reynolds. Reynolds down low for Chilicki, back up to Campbell. Campbell, one-timer to Reynolds, bounces in front of the crease, back over to Chilicki. Campbell to Chilicki, back to Campbell. Campbell shot in front, bounces over into the middle and cleared. Kushkowski and Carter come on the ice. Chilicki dumps that puck in. Brown comes in with Carter. Puck knocked up to Kushkowski. Kushkowski cross ice for Chilicki. Chilicki shot off of the blocker of the goaltender back to Kushkowski up to Campbell. Chilicki one-timer blocked. Clearing attempt doesn't quite get out. Campbell gets to it over to Kushkowski. 7 seconds to go. Chilicki picks that up. Escapes. Puts it down low for Carter. Carter sends that puck for Kushkowski, but Kushkowski changed. Aldridge came on the ice. Campbell knocks that puck away. He's got Brown. Brown carries in. Over to Credidio. Credidio makes a move. Tries a stuff attempt. Hits off of the pad. Carter gives a big hit. Puck to Brown. Brown takes a shot off of the stick of the goaltender and out of play. 10:56 to go. And we'll get an in-zone face-off after the play. Kruger wins that face-off back to Rybicki. Shot on, bounces over to the sideboard where Credidio is battling. Milwaukee gets it out. Pass Bergeron. Rybicki takes a little bit of stumble. They get a shot, goes wide of Cutting. Kruger tries to pick that puck off of the boards, but it stayed with them. Rybicki takes a hit. Kruger over to help. Bergeron, Credidio waiting in the wings, and the puck knocks over to Credidio and then to Bergeron. Bergeron gets that forward to Kruger. Kruger takes a hit. Puck gets knocked away. Milwaukee circling. Puts the puck over to the near side and in. Rybicki picks it up and goes behind Cutting. Up for Bergeron. Bergeron takes a look. Puck bounces away from Kruger and over to the sideboard. Kruger and Aldridge both take a hit, but puck comes loose to Milwaukee. They go behind Cutting, looking for somewhere to go, and they send it off of the board to Aldridge. Aldridge is going to ice it. 9:47 to go, and that'll be icing. Nietzsche, Pulauskas, Letcher on the ice. Nietzsche pushes that face-off back. Miller tries to get it up the boards and knocked back in by Admirals. Miller sends it forward. That's not going to go for icing. Letcher waiting for Milwaukee to decide which direction they're going to go. They go over to the far board. Letcher comes over, gives pressure, forcing them to retreat. Puck goes back behind the goaltender. Nietzsche comes in. Milwaukee coming through the neutral zone. And in meets Pulauskas and Campbell. Puck behind Cutting. Milwaukee tries to send it forward. Good stick by Miller. Pulauskas over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche enters. Tries a drag. Doesn't quite get a hold of it. Puck is in. Milwaukee's arguing that the net was kicked off. Pulauskas gets that loose puck, and it's 1-0. So I'm not sure if that's going to be, I think it would be Pulauskas from Nietzsche, technically. Reynolds comes on with Chilicki and Carter. Prisgintis and Aldridge at D. Puck on the sideboard. Prisgintis does a nice job of pushing the puck forward. While Carter was open in the middle, puck just misses him. Pass from Reynolds. Milwaukee sends that puck in, bounces off of the backboard, and they take it up the far side. Centering pass blocked by either Carter or Reynolds. They both have 9s, and my eyes are playing tricks on me. Puck knocked in the middle. Reynolds picks it up. He's got Chalicki. Puck was deflected and went to the backside of Chalicki and in. Reynolds knocks that back to Priskintis, over to Chalicki. Chalicki circling, gets a shot blocked by Skate in front. Reynolds sends it down for Carter. Carter for Chalicki, and the net is knocked off by Chalicki. Kushkowski, Brown, Kruger on the ice. Brown calling out the play from coach. Kruger on the wing, Brown offset behind Kushkowski. Face off one to the corner, but put forward, bounces off of Chalicki's skate. Milwaukee carries forward, gets a shot, goes high off of Cutting. Puck bouncing. Campbell knocks it over to Brown. Brown to Kushkowski. Kushkowski forward for Kruger. Kruger gets knocked away. Brown picks it up. Brown, shot. Loose in front. The official, quick whistle. Brown shot dropped in front. Kushkowski got a skate on it. .7:32 to go. Predidio, Letcher, Reynolds, Campbell, Rubicki. Reynolds to Predidio. Predidio pushes it back for Campbell, bounces off of Letcher's stick and behind the goaltender. Predidio knocks that puck up the boards. Milwaukee exits. Puck wide and behind Cutting now. Milwaukee digs it out. Got a guy in the middle. Luckily, Letcher was there. Letcher puts it into Milwaukee's zone. Puck bounces off of Letcher over to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to drag one through. Puck into neutral ice. Campbell back up to Reynolds. Reynolds knocks it over to Credidio. Credidio sends it in. Credidio changes. Pulauskas comes on the ice. Milwaukee sends that all the way down, and that'll go for an icing. Nietzsche and Bergeron are going to join Pulauskas. 6:40 to go in the second. Face-off one back to Pulauskas. He sends that down for Nietzsche. Milwaukee sends it around into the opposite corner. Pulauskas tries to play that. Knocks away from Milwaukee up to Priskintis. Priskintis sends it up the boards, knocked down by Milwaukee. Pulauskas picks it up off of the boards. Milwaukee pins it. Priskintis, big hit. Priskintis then tripped afterwards. Puck down low, knocked up the boards. Priskintis pokes it. Still stuck. Bergeron and Nietzsche working to get it out. Carter, Chalicki, Kushkowski on the ice. Aldridge and Rybicki at D. Rybicki flips forward for Carter. Bounces over to Milwaukee. Milwaukee tries to clear it. Chalicki knocks it down. They go back behind their goaltender. Up the sideboards. Aldridge stays in front of his man. They try to clear it up. Puck bounces through some skates, and Milwaukee back in their own zone over to the sideboard and chipped across. Rybicki sends it up for Kushkowski. Kushkowski up for Carter. That comes out of the zone. It's not going to make it for icing. Another stretch pass by Milwaukee and a dump in. Puck behind Cutting. Rybicki gets a stick lifted. Milwaukee carries in. Shot is blocked by Kushkowski. He sends it forward. Carter plays that high. He comes off. Kruger comes on. 4:44 to go in the period. Kushkowski takes a big hit. Puck knocked over to Kruger. Kruger tries to tap it to Carter. Milwaukee keeps hold of it. Puck over the opposite corner. Rybicki gets a hit on. Milwaukee still in control. Puck doesn't quite get enough. And then two guys fall into each other. Carter and Kruger having trouble. Carter takes a big hit from behind. Milwaukee back the other way. Reynolds comes on the ice for Kushkowski. Carter to the boards. Tries to send that forward. It hits off of Milwaukee. Clear attempt by, I think, Aldridge. Goes right to Milwaukee. They got a shot on, and it's deflected out of play. Miller and Campbell come on for D. Reynolds, Brown, and Kruger on the ice. Kruger to take the faceoff. Miller picks up that puck and sends it up. Knocked out of play by Milwaukee. Face off. Pushed over to the corner. Kruger trying to get it out. Puck goes underneath Campbell. Campbell trying to dig it with Miller. Puck back over to Campbell in the corner. Campbell gets a hold of it, gets it over to Miller. Miller couldn't quite get a pass up. Centering pass. Campbell blocks a shot, knocks it over to the glass. Reynolds comes over to help. Campbell took a slash. We're going to go on a power play. .325 to go. Letcher, Nietzsche, Pulauskas, Reynolds, Priskintis for this power play. 3:25 to go, 2 minutes for slashing. Puck bounces off of Reynolds. Nietzsche knocks it away, puts it over to the sideboard. Letcher finds Pulauskas. Knocked away from Pulauskas over the sideboard. Pulauskas in the corner trying to battle. Puck comes up to Reynolds, bounces off of his Milwaukee into the neutral zone. And Reynolds is going to go for a slash. So 4-on-4 Kushkowski coming on the ice. I don't know. I think 4. Puck up to Kushkowski. Kushkowski carrying forward, tries a touch pass to Chalicki, knocked away by Milwaukee. Milwaukee's offside, so they have to touch back up. Back in through the neutral zone and across the blue line. Shot gets blocked by Kushkowski. Puck over to Chalicki. Chalicki's got Miller streaking. Miller with Chalicki backdoor tries to pass it. It gets blocked by the Admirals, and they're back behind their goaltender trying to set up. 46 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Nietzsche comes on. Nietzsche doing his best to knock that puck away. Kushkowski steps in front and carries forward. Kushkowski, puck gets knocked away over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot. Kushkowski off the ice. Brown comes on. Aldridge comes on for Miller. Rybicki on the ice as well. Milwaukee sends forward. It hits off of the Admirals player for icing. 16 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Fletcher comes for Brown with Nietzsche. Puck dropped back by Milwaukee. Fletcher comes up to give some pressure and pushes into the side pass by Milwaukee. The ice is not as good as it had been, and puck's not really moving very well. Puck over to the sideboard. Now we're on the kill for 30 seconds. Fletcher sends that over to Rybicki. Rybicki. And Fletcher battling. Puck goes cross ice for Milwaukee. Attempt in front, deflected it over to the sideboard. Milwaukee back down low and behind cutting. Aldridge gets there and sends it up the boards. Milwaukee back down low. Rybicki picks it up and has some space, decides to send it down the outside corner. Nietzsche changes. Pulauskas comes on. Penalty has expired. Kushkowski, Pulauskas, Fletcher on the ice with Przgintis and Aldridge. Milwaukee coming over to the left side, shot on cutting. Milwaukee runs Przgintis over, and we're going to go on the power play now. .38 seconds to go. Kushkowski, Brown, Carter, Campbell, Chalicki come on the ice. Carter to take this face off. One over to Chalicki, back to Campbell. Campbell, back to Chalicki. Chalicki, over to Campbell. Campbell cross for Kushkowski. Kushkowski looking for Carter. Puck over to Brown, taps it to Kushkowski, goes cross ice for Chalicki. 20 seconds to go. Puck to Campbell. Campbell to Kushkowski, back to Campbell. One time look for Chalicki, decides to send one low on pad. It bounces over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski back to Chalicki. Chalicki shot loose and covered. 4.2 seconds to go in the period. We'll get an ice cut after this. Brown calling out the play. Kushkowski is going to take the face-off. Carter in the shooting section. Milwaukee wins that face-off back. Kushkowski takes a slash, and that'll be ice cut. All right, so give us about 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Start of the third period. We're on the power play. Minute 18 left on the power play. Cutting sends that puck to Letcher. Letcher, Przgintis, Nietzsche, Pulauskas, and Reynolds. Power play 1 on the ice right now. Milwaukee picks up that puck and sends it down. Cutting left it behind, but Milwaukee got there. Luckily knocked away. Letcher carries in. Back around, trying to pass up to Pulauskas. Knocked away. Reynolds, good stick, puts that puck off of the board to Pulauskas. Nietzsche and Pulauskas trying to dig it out. Effective kill by Milwaukee so far, 37 seconds to go. Reynolds carries forward. Gets past a couple defenders, circling. Puts a puck in front. Nietzsche tries to deflect it, goes right into the glove. No rebound. Kushkowski, Brown, Carter, Chalicki, Campbell come on the ice. Carter to take the face-off, Kushkowski behind. Face-off pushed back by Carter, but in between Campbell and Kushkowski, Campbell picks up the puck and carries forward. Brings the puck in and then drops it, takes a big hit. Carter, big hit. Brown chasing, gets a hit on. Puck goes clear up. Penalty has expired. Puck up the sideboard. Knocked away and down into the corner. Kushkowski goes to get it. Puck up the sideboard and across. Milwaukee on a change. Brown has a lane, gets it to Chalicki. Chalicki carries in, gets knocked away. Brown pushes it down low for Carter and goes for a change. Miller and Przgintis on the ice. Credidio comes on. Carter shot into the glove of the goaltender. No rebound. 14:57 to go. Kruger and Bergeron come to join Credidio. Face-off controlled by Milwaukee. They send it around and behind over the far board. Entering on the blocker side, cut in front, knocked down by Miller. Miller up for Bergeron. Bergeron taps it into neutral ice. And then good stick by Kruger. Kruger and Credidio 2-on-1. Shot off of the blocker of the goaltender over to the sideboard. Credidio puts his man into the boards. So does Bergeron. Loose puck picked up by Milwaukee and then sent down. They had a man free. Luckily, puck bounced away from him. Puck again out of the zone. Milwaukee's offsides, gives us a chance to change. Letcher comes on the ice. Pulauskas comes on the ice. Pulauskas, touch pass to Kruger, misses. Milwaukee carries back forward and in cutting slows it down. Letcher pushes the puck over to Kruger. Kruger sends the puck in and goes for a change. Reynolds comes on the ice. Aldridge and Rybicki on at D. Aldridge doing a nice job on the boards. Puck over to Letcher. Letcher has a couple of guys converge on him and then dump him. Rybicki. Puck over to Reynolds. Pulauskas was offsides. .34 to go in the game. Score 1-0 after the Pulauskas goal. Milwaukee sends that puck over to the sideboard, ties up Aldridge, but he gets it up to Pulauskas. Pulauskas gets the puck in the zone. Big hit by Pulauskas. Puck cleared, goes across, and out of play. 13-15, we'll get a line change. Nietzsche, Brown, Carter. Nietzsche wins that faceoff over to Aldridge. Around for Brown. Brown over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche enters in the middle. Goes wide. Backhand shot over to Carter. Carter taps it down for Nietzsche. Nietzsche back up to Carter. Battling with Milwaukee. 2 on the puck. Puck comes out and across. Over to Rybicki. Rybicki, quick tap. Milwaukee's pass intercepted by Carter. Rybicki sends that puck across, and that'll be an icing. Kwiatkowski, Bergeron, Pulauskas. Rybicki and Campbell at D. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Miller out there. Miller and Campbell. Face off under feet, dug out by Milwaukee, and Miller's going to get a hooking penalty. We're going to go on the kill. Miller, 2 minutes for hooking. 12:35 to go. Fletcher and Nietzsche on the ice. Faceoff controlled by Milwaukee. Przgintis trying to tie up. Puck comes up to Letcher. Letcher chips it out. Held by Milwaukee. Nietzsche was going to be on a breakaway if Letcher was going to be able to get that up to him. Nietzsche sends that puck out of the zone. Milwaukee regroups. Nietzsche gets taken down. We're not calling anything. Puck up, challenged by Letcher. Back to the point, deflected in front off of Milwaukee player, goes all the way down. Nietzsche chasing. Letcher gets a hit on, puck goes down to Rybicki. Rybicki battling on the backboard. Puck goes back to the point. Shot goes wide, picked up by Milwaukee behind Cutting. Carrying around, getting harassed by Campbell. Backhand shot blocked in front and cleared. 41 seconds to go. Chalicki comes on the ice. Reynolds is on. Przgintis and Aldridge at D. 31 seconds to go on the kill. Milwaukee drops it behind their goaltender and they come out. Chalicki causing some havoc, forcing a turnover. Comes into the zone. Milwaukee gets the loose puck first. Pass across. Przgintis ties up. Lost his stick in the process. Aldridge gets the puck out. Touched by Milwaukee. Reynolds might have a breakaway here. Penalty has expired on Miller. Pulauskas and Bergeron come on the ice. Puck goes across. Kwiatkowski comes on for Reynolds. Puck played up. Bergeron gets it across for Pulauskas. Pulauskas shot wide off of the glass. Touch pass. Gets past Bergeron. Picked up by Rybicki, but then knocked away on Cutting. Cutting recovers, 9:58 remaining. Credidio, Kruger, and Brown on the ice. Rubicki and Aldridge. Kruger gets kicked out. Credidio comes in. Puck in skates. Picked up by Credidio and then knocked into neutral ice. Credidio battling. Puck goes behind the net. Cross and out into neutral ice. Brown comes up to challenge. D to D for Milwaukee, and then up the board and across. They've got a guy backdoor. Credidio doesn't quite get back, but Cutting sees it, slides over, and gloves it. .9:26 to go. Chalicki, Nietzsche, Letcher on the ice. Milwaukee gets a friendly bounce off of the glass and a shot on Cutting, no rebound. Puck dug out by Miller over to Chalicki. Chalicki finds Letcher right where he's supposed to be. Letcher, little spin onto the backboard and up, looking for Chalicki. Chalicki gets it back to Letcher. Letcher goes across for Prisgintis, and they call the net off. And they're going to say that we knocked it off. So puck outside. Face-off won by Nietzsche over to Prisgintis. Prisgintis sends that over for Chalicki. Chalicki and Milwaukee get stuck together. Puck over to the sideboard. Picked up by Milwaukee. Centering pass misses, goes wide. Another shot in front finds the net. And it's 1-1. Carter, Reynolds, Brown, Campbell, Rubicki on the ice. Face-off, one forward. Milwaukee breaks a stick over Carter. Puck back to Campbell. Campbell up to Reynolds. Hits a stick. Carter takes a huge hit. That's interference. No call. We're not calling anything right now. Carter gets back up and hounds the man. Puck gets dug out. Milwaukee gets it back. Carter's looking for blood. Reynolds gets that puck. Takes a shot. Bounces over to the corner. Another attempt blocked by Milwaukee. They clear that up. It's going to go down, picked up by Prisgintis. Prisgintis escapes over to Aldridge. Pulauskas and Bergeron on the ice. Berge tries to pass that to Pulauskas, intercepted by Milwaukee. They enter. Kushkowski knocks that away. Milwaukee kicks it. Trying to go for a centering pass, misses a little too far ahead. Bergeron to Pulauskas. Pulauskas taps that puck. It goes in zone. Loose puck picked up by Kushkowski up to Pulauskas. Pulauskas took Bergeron. Bergeron centering. Goes across the crease. Kushkowski tries to knock that forward for Campbell. Milwaukee picks it up. It goes the other way. Good stick by Campbell. Kushkowski puts it forward into neutral ice. Bergeron goes for a change. Credidio comes on. Campbell to Credidio. Misses Credidio. Puck in front. Looking for a backdoor. Good block by Miller. Make sure that pass didn't go through. Credidio picks it up. Decides to carry forward. Gets knocked away. Kushkowski, good stick. Puts it forward. Kushkowski changes. Nietzsche comes on. Nietzsche puts that puck forward. We get a D change. Pulauskas trying to get hold of the puck. Takes a stick, takes the trip. No call. Credidio takes that puck away. Pulauskas changes. Kruger comes on. Rybicki to Kruger. Kruger knocks it deep. Credidio goes for a change. Shalicki comes on the ice. Good hit by Nietzsche. Puck goes back down behind the Milwaukee goaltender and around. Shalicki, right where that puck was coming, shot and a glove save. Reynolds and Letcher join Shalicki. Prisgintis and Miller at D. 5:25 to go, still 1-1. Shalicki wins that over to the sideboard. Reynolds sends it back down low. Shalicki giving pressure. Puck over the sideboard, bounces off. Shalicki picks it up. Shot is blocked. Miller sends it in. We're offsides. Reynolds and Letcher tag up. Letcher comes in to give pressure. Shot bounces off of Cutting. Goes back around. Letcher working. Puck goes deep for Prisgintis. Prisgintis coming out of the corner. Knocked away by Milwaukee. And then sent back down. Prisgintis takes a hit. Milwaukee still battling. Puck comes out of the zone. Letcher chasing. A regroup by Milwaukee. Brings it in. Bergeron comes on. Kushkowski comes on. Miller sends that puck to Letcher. Letcher goes across for Prisgintis and then up for Kushkowski. Kushkowski off of the boards over to Letcher. Letcher, puck gets knocked away. Campbell and Rybicki come on at D. Letcher goes for a change. Kushkowski and Bergeron working. Berge gets pinned. Pulauskas comes on. Cross-ice pass for Milwaukee. Shot wide. Another shot wide again. Milwaukee has a guy on the backside. Pulauskas gets to that puck and clears it. Puck gets dumped in and then bounces off of the boards. We get a interception by puck back into the zone. Pulauskas chasing. Brown comes out on a change. Milwaukee avoids contact and sends it in on Cutting. Cutting sends it up off of the boards. It goes forward. Brown and Kruger in the zone. Milwaukee back the other way. Nietzsche tries to delay a hit. Aldridge to Prisgintis. Prisgintis up for Kruger. Nietzsche in hard. Giving pressure. Kruger over to the corner. Milwaukee trying to get it off of the sideboard. Slowed up. Bounces off of a couple people. Milwaukee back in control, trying to carry forward. Quick move and a shot. Cutting knocks it down off of his shoulder. Picked up by Miller. Bouncing around. Puck comes out of the zone. Kruger has it in his feet. Over to Miller. Miller chips into the neutral ice. Milwaukee regroups. Brown comes over to give some pressure. Takes it away. Brown makes a move. Shot. Looks like it hit off of the blocker and goes onto the glass. Kruger and Brown trying to get that puck free. Milwaukee comes forward. They send that puck on Cutting. It goes right in front to Milwaukee player. Shot goes wide. Milwaukee in the corner. Gets taken down by Miller. Kruger still trying to work. Minute 35 to go. Reynolds gets a hold of it. Goes forward, goes cross ice. Brown changes. Letcher comes on. Kruger changes. Schlicky comes on. Cutting send that puck on the sideboard. Milwaukee sends it back down. Miller ties up in the corner. Loses his stick in the process. Reynolds trying to help. Campbell making sure nobody gets there. Milwaukee goes for a change. Letcher sees the puck, comes over to help. Flips it up. It goes back underneath a skate. They should be blowing the whistle, but they're not. There it is. 54.5 seconds to go. Tied 1-1. Puck over to the sideboard. Milwaukee sends it back down low. Tied up by Aldridge. Glove down. Milwaukee sends it across ice. Up the near board. Fury waiting for him. Chalicki gets a stick on it. Letcher tries to knock it away. Milwaukee tries to get a shot. Blocked by Aldridge and sent forward for Chalicki. Letcher to Chalicki. Chalicki sends it for a pass to Letcher. Goes on the backboard. Letcher sends it up. Kashkowski comes on the ice. Kashkowski working. Tries to get a centering pass. Knocked away. Cross-ice pass by Milwaukee. Rybicki, nice job, takes it away, then passes up for Chalicki, and that's the end of regulation. We'll go to a 3-on-3 OT. It should be 5 minutes. And we'll see who they pick. We're going to start off with Kushkowski, Reynolds, and Campbell. Kushkowski wins that faceoff back to Campbell. Campbell to the corner. Gets tied up behind, but Reynolds comes over and picks up the puck. Reynolds with space, passes over to Campbell. Campbell's going to enter the zone. To Kushkowski. Kushkowski avoids one, comes behind the goaltender and back up, leaving a puck for Reynolds. Reynolds, shot off of the goaltender back to the corner. Reynolds picks it up and then sends the puck into the middle. Looks like net is off again. Prisgintis, Nietzsche, Letcher. Nietzsche to the right, Letcher to take the draw. Face-off controlled by Milwaukee. They go behind their own goaltender, Letcher, providing direction up front. Milwaukee enters fast. They got a guy in front. Tip attempt. Puck is still in front. So a little bit of miscommunication among the boys, and Milwaukee wins this one in OT. Our next game will be Thursday at 8:30 in Orland Park. It'll be the start of the state playoffs. We'll see everybody Thursday.